So the CEO of Coinbase is exposing something about a token, the Spark token, the SPK token that I brought to my students, the channel a little while ago, like what, a week and a half ago. And I said, I'm going to knock one out of the park. I'm going to Babe Ruth this thing and say, this token, this small token is going to see a $400 million market cap before the end of this cycle, right? And right now, you're seeing something that you don't really ever see the ninja do. Yesterday, I made a post about the Spark token, and it wasn't about the Spark. It was a philosophy that I've had ever since I've been in crypto. Type one if you saw the post on X. If you want, there's a link to my X channel down below. I tell people all kinds of things about crypto, like in split second fast reaction, and people have made money from some calls I made. And I said, when this is all the post said, whenever a crypto is up 40% in or over 40% in one day, I take profits or I sell. And there's something about that 40% number that's important, right? Now, I didn't say what token, but obviously everyone was looking at the Spark token yesterday. It was pumping like crazy, not because of a post or a video that came out on social media, but some news that I'm about to expose, or I'm about to show you with Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase. And you gotta have to ask that. I'm fired up, excited, and pissed at the same time, because the CEO of Coinbase is talking about a very small market cap coin. And when I came out with this coin, a lot of people, they always accuse me of being a pumping number. And like yesterday, when I talked about, hey, I sell on 40%, and I took profits on my trade position of Spark token yesterday, right? And people are blaming me that I'm going to tank the price. First off, I want to explain something really clear. If you think anyone on the internet thinks that I'm that big of a deal where I can say something and the value rise and then the value plummets on a cryptocurrency, especially on the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Coinbase, if you think I'm that big of a deal and you haven't bought my courses, you're a nutball. How do you like that sales pitch? But I don't think I'm that big of a deal. So don't take any of this as financial advice. So the Spark token's a big deal in and of itself because of its relationship to the Sky project, which is formerly known as MakerDAO. All right. MakerDAO, the creation of DAI or DAI, a stablecoin project that's been around for a long time, very proven team, and they've added some brainiacs into that team in recent years, like going back to 2022, 2023. And they rebranded Sky because Maker in and of itself, it was having a hard time in one of the instances is that just didn't have enough tokens floating around, okay? And so they increased the token size. Well, now they've created a handful of projects, Spark being one of them, as its own layer of governance, and it's going to be doing some big things. This story yesterday, and I took profits yesterday, right? Well, here's the problem. I had to go rebuy back this morning, and this is why, and this sucks. But hey, it was hitting resistance yesterday when it was at like 43, 45% up in one day. And I pulled profits, and I called Dylan, and I'm like, or Dylan called me, goes, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm taking profits. It's up over 40%. You know my rules. And he goes, yeah, but CEO of Coinbase just came out like raving about this project. I'm like, crap. I had no idea. But it was hitting resistance. So you have fundamentals and you have technical analysis, and you got to deal with both of them. Please, guys, type one if you understand that is true. That's the problem. So many people are either totally sold into fundamentals, like with XRP, and they just become brainwashed and turn into a cult, and they never sell, and they don't understand that also you have to look over here at technical analysis. Then you got guys that are so focused on technical analysis. I got trader friends that have no concept about fundamentals, and then they go, oh, no, it's hitting this. I'm like, you don't understand, there's a news cycle about to hit the world. They're about to figure it out in 24 hours, and there's gonna be more buying pressure than you've ever seen. I don't care what your chart says, especially with brand new projects like the Spark token. Spark has only been around for like 4.5, 5 weeks. There's no technical analysis that you can do really in 4.5 to 5 weeks. There's not enough historical data out there for the token price to really sit there. Is it above the 200 day? No, it hasn't been around for 200 days, right? But it was a micro cap, and I told you guys about it when it was what, $40 million. What's the market cap of Spark right now? Can you guys put it down below so I can see it? Let me get to this story. This is out of CCN. That's a real story. Spark downtrend. Oh wait, hold on. I got to tell you one more thing. To all my students, you've gotten an email because you're getting the special student pricing. It's almost over. Please don't whine to me about the Crypto Staking Pro. This is going to change the perception and the investment fundamentals for thousands, probably tens of thousands of people around the world. Don't call me and tell me you missed that email. Can I get the deal? Okay. Because it's going pre-filming sale in like a day or so. And I'm going to expose 3 projects that you've never heard of before that I'm extremely excited about in that course. Okay. So go check that email out. And this is why I partner with Dylan in the first place. Because when he called me and told me about this story, he was, and I'm like, gosh, dang, why didn't you tell me? He's all, you moved too fast. I'm like, what, the price was pumping. And he's super smart. He's like he is a best-selling author in the cryptocurrency space, right? The Bitcoin Business Accelerator is his book. And he knows all this stuff. This is why I partnered with him on a bunch of these crypto courses, actually pretty much all of them, because of how intelligent he is. And this is a big deal. It says Brian Armstrong's public praise for Spark ignites a 40% rally, ending its recent downtrend. What downtrend? For a week? And that's what's crazy about the media. They sit there, it's been in a downtrend. No, you moron reporter. The entire market was in a downtrend. Bitcoin was 121. It went down to 112. It pulls everything down with it. But see, a lot of reporters don't even know what the heck they're talking about when it comes to crypto investing, mining, staking, any of that stuff. Whatever. SPK breaks out of a descending triangle as the MACD is now turning bullish and the CMF flips positive. Now, it says one public shout out is all it took. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, which, by the way, I don't know if everyone realizes this. Type yes or no if you know this. Coinbase is diving deep into DeFi. And there's going to be an announcement in September that is going to make a lot of you a lot of money. That's all I can say. That's my crystal ball right there. Here, all I got is a thing of Scotch tape with me and a tape measure, but I don't have a crystal ball. I got a rubber chicken, but that you're gonna be stoked in September. You're gonna have to trust me on that one. Says here, Brian Armstrong's positive remarks about Spark, or the SPK token, flipped sentiment overnight, catapulting the token 40% higher and ending its grinding downtrend. So I sold at like, 13.5 cents, my trading position, and I just rebought back at 12.5 cents. Like, no joke, this morning. Because I went to bed looking at it at 12 cents, and I'm like, it's going to die out. In the middle of the night in America, usually the amount of people trying to buy slows down. People aren't watching their limit buys or limit sells, so they pull them off the market. And as that fades, so does the price, right? It didn't happen last night. I woke up and I'm like, gosh darn, it's not only a little bit more expensive, but I'm looking at the buy book and it is heavy. There's a lot of momentum coming in because of this story. So it says at press time, the Spark crypto trades at 13 cents, right? This was yesterday. Still 33% below its all-time high, but with rising bullish momentum. This analysis breaks down how, okay, so then it just talks about blah, blah, blah. Point being is, Brian Armstrong came out and talked about the Spark token and the project and how important it is for not only the liquidity, but the stabilization of the stablecoin process, and how exchanges interact with smart contracts based on stablecoins. So I look at what's going on right now. Watch this. I'm doing this live, sorry. Let's do this news. Yeah, I can't find it. There's some information you're going to see come out more readily available. If anyone's got it, put some links on my X channel so I can take a look at it, where Coinbase is going to talk about work that they're doing with projects like Spark. I can't say much more without having all the details for you, but you're going to see it. It's a big movement. And Coinbase specifically is going to be moving into DeFi way bigger than the base wallet, the Coinbase wallet. They are really going to go deep. They have put so much money into specific projects that I've been watching for some time and watching how the teams of those projects interact with let's just put it this way. In a couple of weeks, you're all going to learn about some things. All of my students are about to learn about some things. And I do prioritize them more because they're the ones that are passionate about learning and making a change. You guys need to dive into this right now. I'm not talking about who cares about buying my course. Who cares about that? Go dive into as much knowledge as you can. Go and hang out with or learn from very intelligent people in the this crypto space. And look, I'll tell you what. I love doing my channel like this. I love the rubber chicken. I love joking around and laughing and stuff. I can't stand content creators that are 100% fake and know nothing. I know people with TA that literally they look like they're the fanciest things in the world, right? And they got all these fancy channels and they, oh my gosh, they've got these introductions where they look like they're all awesome and they're in the sunset and they're in a Porsche. They've got no money in the game. It's disgusting. That's why I bug them to their core when they get to know me. And I've heard the term, you're the real deal, so many times it's pathetic. But hey, I got a rubber chicken in my channel, of course, or whatever. All right, so here, let me go to this really quick. I'm going to pull up. So Spark was trending like all day yesterday, right? And the day before. It was like the #1 most trending because all of a sudden you've got tens of thousands of new eyeballs on this project. And this coin is about to crest 13 cents again, the second time in 2 days. Right now the market cap's at 142. Now my Babe Ruth call is that Babe Ruth? I think it is. I'm saying, hey, $400 million market cap. But here's the thing. I like to keep my numbers really mild and low and easy because most people, will talk about like XRP going to $1,000. They've been saying that for years. Have any of them been right? Yes or no? The money people have lost by holding on to things like XRP. I flipped my XRP a couple times in front of my students in the last 4 months, and the percentage of return has just been stupid. I could buy back all that XRP and more if I wanted to, but I'm not because I know that the SEC and specific bad actors around the world are still adding to their wallets. And you can listen to these, and that's why they won't have me come speak at the XRP event. I'm negative. Although you talk to the CTO and he'll say, he's never had people ask him questions like I've asked him, even things that he contemplates on a periodic level or time frame. People don't ask him the good questions. That's why I can't interview these guys. I'd ask them the questions they don't want to answer. All right. If you guys want to check out Spark, cool. It's not financial advice. I own a boatload of it, and that's not bragging. It's just from experience. It is right now, if I had to guess, I know it's my 3rd largest trading position. Hold on. It's about to be my 2nd. Another one is Colonel Dow, a restaking venture that's only got a $40 million market cap. Holy cow. It's mind-blowing to me, but hey, this is what happens. It's a shiny lure. So now Spark's taking off because Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, is talking about it. So do with that what you want. All right, I hope you have a great day. The Economic Ninja is out.